From my given disaster, speed away from the holy mind, pride. I swear I never thought it would matter if I'm gone by now. All my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good. You got me good. I keep on driving till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road tonight. Lost my head over my back between the jars and bottle jack. Just me and all the red lights. Keep on driving and driving. In the heat from my hot California, I forgot how you look like in rain. I swear I never thought it would matter if I'm gone by now. All my weakness keep on linger on repeat like it will be my favorite song. Oh, I know I should be moving on, but you got me good. You got me good. I keep on driving till it bends, still it feels like I pretend. Keep on driving and driving along the road tonight. Lost my head over my back between the jars and bottle jack. Just me and all the red lights. Keep on driving and driving.
Good morning and welcome to today's show. Now, I do have to apologize if you were expecting some streams last week. It was a hectic week. I didn't feel too well, and I just needed a week off from creating content so I could just concentrate on some client work as well. So welcome to today's stream, and today I want to go through WordPress hosting. There are so many different hosting companies around today, and they all have very similar features at different pricing points. But which one should you choose? Because there are just so many, and some are better than others. And that's what I'm going to be going through in today's show. Hi, my name is Jason Kruger, and I help heart-centered businesses build and automate their online marketing systems. Now, I wanted to go through WordPress hosting, especially because a lot of my client sites, or most of my client sites, are all WordPress. I build websites with WordPress, and it can be a bit confusing which one you need to get because there are so many different companies out there. They all have very similar features, which makes it difficult to compare the different hosting companies. So I'm going to go through three hosting companies that I personally use, and that's why I want to go through these today, because I've got that personal experience with these companies, and I have done for many years, and so that's why I can confidently recommend them to my clients if they need hosting. Hi Xanthi. Good morning to you. Now, for those of you that don't know, Xanthi also builds websites with WordPress, and yeah, it's good to have you on today's show. If I push the right buttons. So the first one that I wanted to go through is probably the most expensive option out of the three that I'm going to go through today, and that is WPEngine. Now, I have most of my sites and some client sites on this platform, and I really do love it. It has a lot of features on there that make it easy for me to build websites, but as I said, it is not a cheap option. So let me share my screen and we'll go through some of those bits and pieces. So this is WPEngine. Now, I've actually gone directly to their pricing page because I wanted to show you that it is not a cheap option. These are all the annual prices. So if I go monthly, you can see it's not cheap. It's $30 per month, and that is for one site. And that doesn't include anything else like email hosting or anything like that. It is just your WordPress website. So $30 per month is quite an expensive option if you're just starting out, and it's probably not going to be the option that I would recommend if you are just starting out building a WordPress website and you're just starting online. This is probably not going to be the option for you. Maybe down the line when you've got a lot of traffic to your site and you need some of these extra features, perhaps with more solid hosting, then maybe yes, this would be an option. But as you can see, it does go quite steeply in price. So for 3 sites, you're already looking at something like $59 per month, and 10 sites, you're looking at $115 per month. So it is not cheap, but it is a solid platform. Their support is excellent. Whenever I've had any issues, they've been able to solve that for me really quickly. So it is a great platform. And the one thing that WPEngine did a few years ago is they actually bought out the Genesis framework. So the framework that was very popular a number of years ago to build your WordPress website, and there was a lot of different themes that you could use with this Genesis framework. And I used the Genesis framework when it was at its height in popularity. So it is a great platform. You get themes and all that with them now as well. They've added that into their packages. And as you can see, you do get quite a bit of storage just for the one site. So depending on what kind of site it is, and you can see who they are trusted by. And there's a lot of big brands there. But if you need something a bit more, then they do have different packages. So they have the Managed Hosting Plus package. So this is where you will start getting plugin updates and things like that. So in the previous package, they will just update WordPress so that it has the latest version. So they'll do that automatically. But with this Plus package, they will start updating the plugins for you as well, and that's all done automatically. They have the auto rollbacks if there's an issue with that plugin. So there's a lot of extra features here. And one thing I do need to mention with WPEngine, they do back up on a daily basis. So you will have backups of your site, and I think it's at least 28 or 30 days that they keep that. It might be a little bit more. So you can roll back to previous versions if you need to. They also have staging sites, so you can take a copy of your site, play around with it to see if any of those changes are going to affect your site, or if you're looking to update your site but you don't want it to go live yet, you could all do that in the staging site and then push those updates to your main site. They also have more secure hosting as well. So, stopping malicious traffic, etc. like that from hitting your website. But as you can see, the price does go up a lot. And if you do have a very busy e-commerce website, you can go with their e-commerce hosting as well. And they will be more optimized for the e-commerce side of things. So let's see. Xanthi says that it's similar to Kinsta's prices, but there are premium choices, depends on the customer. I guess they offer many good options. Daily backups, as I see, that is golden. Yes, daily backups is a great option, especially if you are doing kind of daily updates to your site and you do need to have that. And yes, this is more of a premium option when it comes to hosting. And yeah, Genesis back in the day, I used to use that and to build my sites, and it wasn't as easy as it is now to get great looking sites. You didn't need to know a bit more coding. I actually think I used the dynamic theme builder, which is still around, to build sites on the Genesis framework. Now, if I just show you the inside of my WPEngine account, as I said, I use this for my sites and for client sites. So this is all my sites. I have 10 billable sites out of 10 on here. But the one thing that it allows you to do as well is to create what they call transferable sites. So you can go and develop sites on the platform and either turn it into a billable website, or you can then take a backup of it and move it to another site. And that's what I like about the WPEngine platform, is I can develop my sites on WPEngine, and then either if the client wants me to host it, I can then turn that into a billable site, or if they want their own WPEngine account, I can just transfer it to their account, or I can take a backup and move it to a different hosting platform. So if I just go into the demo site, so this is the demo site that I use when I'm doing WordPress tutorials, for example, and you can see, they're all password protected so that people can't get to them without this password. And it's just the dashboard that you get. You can then add domains to it, redirection rules, have the different backup points. When your site is live, you can enable the CDN as well, so that your site loads quicker in different countries, for example. Backup points. So you can go in there and look at all the different backup points that you have in your account, and you can go in there and choose one and restore that specific one if you want. And if you need to create an additional backup, you can do that just by clicking create backup. Then you have your kind of FTP users. So they use the secure FTP. So you can go in there and create different accounts so that you can access that as well. They have different utilities, so you can clear your cache for the site, as well as if you need to change the password or enable that, or you can just reset all your file permissions by just clicking reset, and it will do that automatically for you. Now, there is another option in WordPress where you can have a multi-site, so you can have multiple sites on kind of one WordPress installation, and you can convert it just by clicking this and then convert environment, and then that will change it to a multi-site installation. Now, the other thing they have is redirect bots, and this is just to stop kind of the spam bots and all of that from hitting your site. So you can enable that if you need that. I think it is enabled by default. And if you are using some kind of membership plugins, like I do, Memberium is one of them, sometimes you need to have that switched off, otherwise it doesn't work correctly. So that is WPEngine, and if you do want to find out more about it, I have put all the links in the description, so you can click on there and go and see the three options that I'm talking about today. And yes, they are affiliate links for those hosting companies. So if you do want to check them out, I will get paid by those hosting companies if you do choose to go with them. Now, the other option that I want to show you, and it's probably the option that I would recommend to most of my clients, and that is Siteground. Siteground is a great platform, and if you are just starting out, the pricing for their hosting is excellent as well. And you know, I use this again for client sites and for some of my sites. So I do split my sites over different hosting providers if I need to. And yeah, Xanthi is saying yes, Siteground. You know, I think, Xanthi, do you use Siteground as well? I find it a really great platform, especially now that they've actually updated their interfaces and the technology for the hosting. It does make it a lot easier to manage. So Siteground, as I said, it's probably the one that I would recommend the most out of the three that I am showing you today. And their pricing point is phenomenal, especially if you're starting out. So if you just need that one site just to get started, then it's £2.99 per month. Now, one thing you do need to be wary of is a lot of the times when they have these types of discounts, it is for a yearly price, but kind of £3 or so per month over 12 months is not a huge cost. But then you do have to be wary what once you kind of finish the kind of special promotions, it will be £12 per month for that hosting, which again is not a large sum of money, especially when you can also have email accounts on the hosting. So whereas WPEngine, you can only have your website, with Siteground you can have your website and your email on there as well. So you can have all of that on there. They do have the WordPress auto update, so when there's any updates to WordPress, they'll do that automatically for you. They also have daily backups, the free SSL, which again is very similar to what WPEngine have as well. And it's just a great platform. If you need more sites, then you're probably going to look at the Grow Big package. And again, to start off with, £5 per month is not a huge cost, but then you can have unlimited websites. So if you do have different websites that you need, then you can just use the Grow Big package, and you know that will suffice. It will be good to use that. And as you can see, it is recommended by a lot of big names in the WordPress industry. So Xanthi says that they do have Siteground, but they have a server package, and then I've built sites on Siteground, so I've used it by him, and it's a solid hosting provider. It has Cloudflare as well that helps with speed. Yes, it has that as well as one of the features, so that definitely does help. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to show you into my account as well within Siteground. So when you log in, this is the page that you are greeted with, and then because I have their Geek package, I have a lot more sites on here as well, and you can see these are all the different sites that I've got hosted on here, and I can just go in here and let's just use this one here as an example. You just click on Site Tools, and this is where you'll be able to manage the kind of the hosting for that particular website. So when you want to add a new website, you just click on add, and then you put in the details. So that'll be your domain name, and it will set everything up for you. You then just need to make sure that your domain is then pointed to SiteGround, and it will give you all that information as well. And if you do need it, it does give you the IP address and name servers, etc. So as you can see, this is the kind of the dashboard for your website. So you can just click on App Installer and install WordPress if you need to start it from scratch. You can click on this to create your email accounts, and it has all of the necessary things that you need just down the side. So you can just go in here and then click on accounts and create your email account so that you can have everything on your domain. So that is Siteground. It's a great platform. I actually will be doing a more in-depth video on Siteground, and actually hopefully from start to finish. So what you need, the steps you need to go through to actually buy an account with Siteground, all the different settings that you need to go through, and how you install all that. So do keep an eye out for that video. That will be coming hopefully in the next few weeks. And then I will go through all of these different options in more detail. The other thing that will give you, it will give you the stats as well, and WPEngine does that as well. Now the third option that I wanted to show you is what I would probably say is a little bit of a hybrid between Siteground and WPEngine, and that is WPX. And their pricing is probably more expensive than Siteground, but a lot cheaper than WPEngine. Kind of sits a little bit in the middle. But I've used these for certain sites as well, and they are a solid platform, and they are really good as well. And as you can see, if you just need to start out, you can start out with their lowest package. This is the package that I actually have at the moment. And I pay monthly, so $25 also, and I get 5 websites, and I also get email, which WPEngine doesn't have. And I must say, when I've had sites on here, it's also lightning quick, like the others, but it's just a different platform, and again, it works really well. So all plans will come with their CDN, free malware scanning and removal, again, daily automatic backups, just like the others. So you know, you don't have to worry about your site. If something goes wrong, you will have a backup of it. SSL, so the certificates for your website. They also have the migration service, and again, Siteground does have that as well. WPEngine have a plugin that you just install on the site, or if you've got a site on another hosting provider, and it will transfer the site to WPEngine for you. So again, it's a great platform to use. So if you want something that's different to the others, then WPX is definitely another option. And if we go into my account over here, this is how you manage your account. So again, it's different to Siteground, it's different to WPEngine. They all have their own interfaces for their accounts, but they all do roughly the same thing, just a different user interface. So it gives you all the details here again with your name servers, etc. if you need to point your domain to the hosting. And I can just click on manage websites, and then I can see all the different accounts that I have now. I must have been inactive for too long, and it's now logged me out. So if I just go back in, click on manage services, go back to manage website, and then I can see all the different sites I have on here. And if it was a blank one, I can just say install WordPress, make sure that I have the SSL installed, and then I can just go to other settings on here just to check on those. And I can have click on here to check on the databases if I need to check those, and then the email as well. So at the moment, I think I've just stopped it. So that was the settings where you can change the domain, etc. And then these are the email boxes as well. So I can just go in there and add emails to the different accounts. FTP users, edit any DNS if the domain is with WPX, file manager, so I can actually check on the different files for those sites, and then backups. And then they have another area here called WPX Cloud, where I can enable that for some of my sites. So it will change it to their cloud hosting. So it, again, makes it a lot faster. So those are the three options that I personally use for my sites, and they're all great platforms. WPEngine, especially if I'm using them for bigger sites that have a lot of traffic and I need to make sure that it's a solid platform, I do use WPEngine. But a lot of my sites, I use Siteground. It's a great platform. It's very cost effective, especially if you're starting out. And then WPX I use for some other personal sites as well. And the reason I have 3 different hosting packages, probably don't need it, but it's just a safeguard as well, because I have many client sites, etc., that if something did end up happening with one site, I can take a backup, put it on one of the other hosting packages, and then get that up and running. So for me, it's just a safeguard, but you obviously don't need to have that yourself. And you know, if you are just starting out, I would suggest just starting out with Siteground, because it is very cost effective. It's a great platform, and you'll be able to use that for many years. Even if your site starts growing, there's always different ways to upgrade your packages with them as well. So I hope that you've enjoyed the content today. And Zane says great analysis and great suggestions for professionals and for people that need reliable providers. Thanks for that. Yeah, I just wanted to go through, because there are just so many different hosting providers out there. Some are definitely better than others, and I have over the years used different hosting providers myself. I've had to deal with hosting providers that the clients use. So I do have a lot of knowledge about all the different platforms and just the performance of the sites as well on those platforms. And at the moment, these are the ones that I can recommend, because I know I use them personally and I know that they are solid. So I hope that you've enjoyed today's content, and that it will help you choose your hosting provider going forward. And if you would like to be notified when I next go live or post a video, then please click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell so that you get those notifications. So I hope you enjoyed this analysis of those hosting providers this morning, and I hope to see you on the next one.